Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world news cycle on Global Television. Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. President Bola Tinubu and members of his cabinet, as well as 32 state governors and thousands of delegates from across the country, are expected to participate in the National Convention of All Progressive Congress scheduled for today and Saturday in Abuja. The co-chairman of the Media Subcommittee for the convention, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, revealed this during the APC World Media Briefing held at the Transcorp Hilton, Abuja. In addition, top party chieftains from the national, zonal, state and world level will also grace the convention, where new leaders of the party will emerge. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the upcoming National Convention of the All Progressive Congress will highlight the party's unity, democratic maturity and commitment to national development under the Renewed Hope agenda. He made this known in Abuja at a World Media Briefing ahead of the party's 8th National Convention scheduled for March 27 and 28, 2026. Sadia Yakubu reports.
Territory for leadership elections and policy direction. He noted that the gathering goes beyond routine, serving as a platform for reflection, consolidation, and strategic planning for the party's future.
The convention hopes to bring together delegates from across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory for policy engagement, leadership elections, and a formal transition to a new set of party executives, representing both decision-making platform and also a moment of reflection, consolidation, and direction setting for the next phase of our journey.
Idris said since its formation, the APC has remained committed to progressive ideals, national unity, and purposeful leadership, maintaining resilience across electoral cycles. He added that the party has continued to manage leadership transitions in an orderly manner, strengthening internal systems that promotes accountability, inclusiveness, and stakeholder participation.
Our convention theme says it clearly: unity in progress, consolidating the Renewed Hope agenda. This theme is not just a slogan. It is a concise statement of who we are, where we have come from, and where we intend to go. Aligning internal party processes with the country's broader governance vision and projecting continuity, cohesion, and clarity of purpose.
The minister also assured that all arrangements have been concluded for a smooth and credible convention at Eagle Square, Abuja, with committees finalizing their work to ensure seamless coordination. He commended the president's leadership for promoting inclusivity and advancing policies aimed at strengthening governance and national development. Sadia Yakubu, Global Television News.
In another development, the North Central Zone of the All Progressive Congress has adopted President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as its sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. The endorsement followed a unified position by governors, senators, former ministers, and party stakeholders across the region, who threw their weight behind the president's re-election bid. Benue State correspondent Felicity Ndere reports.
It was a massive gathering of party faithful and stakeholders as the All Progressive Congress held its North Central Zonal Congress in Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital. At the Congress, the Secretary to the Government of the Federation and leader of the party in the region, Senator George Akume, moved a motion endorsing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the APC sole candidate for the 2027 general elections. The motion, seconded by Governor Abdullahi Sule, was adopted by the stakeholders through a voice vote, an acclamation reflecting a consensus across the zone.
Nigeria is moving toward another cycle of election. With the eye people have seen, the political people have seen, the politicians have seen, the grassroots people, I have no doubt in my mind that when the votes are finally counted in 2027, North Central will provide the highest number of votes for us.
The Congress also produced a new North Central Zonal Executive Committee through a consensus arrangement consistent with the process earlier adopted at the ward, local government and state levels of the party's congresses. Muazu Bawa emerged as the regional vice chairman following the consensus election of zonal executives.
Your trust is both a great honor and a solemn responsibility, and I assure you that I will continue to serve with dedication, loyalty, and unwavering commitment to the ideals and progress of our party.
Representing the national chairman of the APC, Professor Abdulhakeem Kana, commended the unity and loyalty of party members, describing it as a foundation for the stability of current administration.
We are reminded that this zone is not just a geographic middle belt, but a political bridge of Nigeria. The North Central, where I also come from, has remained a steadfast fortress for the APC.
Benue State Governor Hyacinth Alia described the peaceful conduct of the Congress as a reflection of the region's unity and its commitment to supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other APC candidates in the 2027 elections.
The entire North Central is one, fully unified, fully armed. Get out there, make it good for our governors, make it good for all our candidates in North Central, and above all, make it extraordinarily good for the Swaju.
The North Central Zonal Congress is part of the build-up to the APC National Convention scheduled for March 27, 2026. In Lafia, the Nasarawa state capital, Felicity Ndere reporting for Global Television News.
Still on politics. One of the newly registered political parties by the Independent National Electoral Commission, that is INEC, the Democratic Leadership Alliance, has unveiled its vision for Nigeria in Abuja. Political correspondent Ubong Usoro was there and now reports.
At a time the nation continues to grapple with economic challenges and insecurity, the Democratic Leadership Alliance says its emergence is driven by the urgent need to reposition Nigeria. The national chairman of the party, Barrister Samuel Mema, says the Democratic Leadership Alliance was founded not just as another political party, but as a movement of purpose built on clear ideological foundation anchored on Pan-Africanism, ethical leadership, scientific advancement, and people-centered governance. He added that the emergence of the DLA is a response to the urgent need to rescue Nigeria from systemic failure and economic stagnation.
The Democratic Leadership Alliance was founded not as just another political party, but as a movement of purpose built on a clear ideological foundation, anchored in Pan-Africanism, ethical leadership, scientific advancements, and people-centered governance. Our emergence is a response to the urgent need to rescue Nigeria from systemic failure.
The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Professor Chris Nwakobia, while speaking, said the economic policy of DLA is clear, transitioning from a consumption-based economy to a production and innovation-driven system, promoting industrialization and local manufacturing, and investing heavily in technology, research, and youth-driven enterprise.
This is not just about security, this is about food sovereignty, economic stability, and national survival. We must protect our farmers, secure our communities, and restore confidence in agriculture as a viable and profitable venture.
The Alliance is also calling for youth participation in agriculture and national development, emphasizing innovation and structured support systems. Ubong Usoro for Global Television News.
The Comptroller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, has marked the 2026 International Women's Day with a strong tribute to female officers, describing their contribution as indispensable to success of the service. Kikelomo Okere has the details.
It was a colorful and celebratory atmosphere as officers of the Nigerian Customs Service, alongside members of the Custom Officers' Wives Association (COA), gathered to honor women and highlight their vital contribution to the service and national development. Speaking at a special celebration organized in honor of women in customs, the Comptroller General of Customs, Adewale Adeniyi, says the stories of the Nigerian Customs Service remain incomplete without acknowledging the critical role of women. He noted that female officers have demonstrated resilience, commitment, and efficiency in carrying out their responsibilities across various formations of the service. The Custom Board reveals that 6,000 women currently serve in different capacity within the Nigerian Customs Service, stressing that their contribution is visible and deeply valued. He added that the recognition within the service is not random, but based on performance, dedication, and excellence in duty.
But what we have done, over the years is to show that we recognize them when they do well. And we have demonstrated that through the kind of responsibilities that we give to them, through the kind of postings that we give them, through the kind of assignments that we give to them. And I am very happy that they are doing those assignments well. And
President, Custom Officers' Wives Association (COA), Kikelomo Adeniyi, praised the Comptroller General of Customs, Bashir Adewale Adeniyi, for his consistent support for women empowerment and gender inclusion within the service. She described the Customs Board as a strong advocate for women development, noting his deliberate efforts to encourage both women and the girl child to grow and excel, adding that the CGC leadership reflects a clear commitment to gender balance and equal opportunity within the service.
He likes to see women grow, even girl child. He likes to encourage them to be better people. So this is just a testament to the fact that it's somebody that wants women to also be equal par with men. So, and I'm happy that he has done this for the women of customs.
Okay. The high point of the celebration was the presentation of flowers to female officers and members of COA, a symbolic gesture of appreciation, respect, and solidarity. The moment was met with excitement and applause as participants described it as a heartfelt recognition of women's sacrifice and contribution within the custom community. Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
The Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria says its digital registration portal is now stable following a temporary breakdown in December caused by technical issues with its former service provider. Registrar of TRCN, Dr. Ronke Sumbo, made this known while briefing journalists in Abuja. Priscilla Obasi has the details.
The Registrar, Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria, Dr. Ronke Soyombo, dismissed reports of persistent failures as misleading, noting that examinations would not be scheduled if the system was not fully functional. She explained that the disruption lasted about 1 week before the council disengaged the developer and migrated to a new platform.
And now, conveniently, I can tell you that people that sit for our examination, what we do is we have a service level agreement to actually answer them within 1 week. So if you sit for a computer-based test, within a week, We will print out the result and we also SMS everyone to say, congratulations, you have passed the CBT exam. You may now proceed on our portal to the next line of action.
She, however, acknowledged that some users still face access challenges due to low digital literacy. As to address this, the Council has sustained physical registration at state offices, alongside help desk in tertiary institutions and mobile outreach programs, especially in rural communities.
To make it easy for everybody, including people in the village. Because we don't want to actually condemn any group of people at all. Everybody can access us conveniently. And since the launch in 2025, more than 40 million teachers have successfully registered, obtained licenses, and been certified as professional teachers across Nigeria.
TRCN says it is working with stakeholders, including the Nigeria Union of Teachers, to widen access, with plans to launch a mobile application by April, as it reiterated that all teachers in Nigeria must be registered and certified by the Council. Priscilla Obasi, reporting for Global Television News.
The Academic Staff Union of Universities has warned the federal government to immediately implement the newly approved salary structure for university lecturers or face a possible nationwide shutdown of public universities. The union issued a 4-day ultimatum with its president, Christopher Piana, saying failure to act within the deadline would trigger a strong response. Speaking at Sado Zoga University in Bauchi State, Piona said the government must begin payment under the new salary arrangement without further delay. The Nigerian Army has pulled out 18 senior officers of the Nigerian Army Corps of Supply and Transport following their retirement after 35 years of meritorious service. The colorful pulling out parade marked the conclusion of a 3-day conference held in Benin City, Edo State. Speaking at the ceremony, the Command Commander, Nigerian Armed Corps of Supply and Transport, Major General Danjuma Shagaya, said the retired officers comprises 4 Major Generals and 14 Brigadier Generals. The Zamfara State Police Command has announced improvement in the security situation across parts of the state, noting that residents of several communities earlier displaced by bandit attacks are beginning to return home. Police spokesperson Yazid Abubakar said the progress is the result of sustained security operations and collaboration between the state government and the judiciary, which ensure the prompt prosecution of numerous suspected bandits and their informants. Abubakar noted that police has adopted a strategy of engaging community leaders before deploying mobile police personnel to previous abandoned areas, thereby encouraging displaced residents to return and rebuild their lives. Troops of Sector 2 Operation Fansan Yerma have intensified operations against criminal and terrorist enclave across Sokoto, Zamfara, and Kebbi State, killing at least 6 suspected bandits and recovering arms and communication equipment in coordinated offenses conducted this week. In separate operations, security forces achieved significant rescue. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke, in collaboration with the Benue Civil Protection Guard, successfully freed a 28-year-old kidnapping victim in Se Ubena Village, Katinala local government area of Benue State, and arrested 2 suspected armed headers. Meanwhile, police in Zamfara State rescued a housewife and her 6 children abducted by suspected bandits in Damba Town, Gusau local government area, after confronting the gunmen and forcing them to flee. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle. News Cycle continues after this weather forecast, plus business, foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Hello there. Here's your weather update. Temperatures remain generally high across the country, creating favorable conditions for convective activities. Combined with strong moisture influx, especially over the western region, we expect widespread rainfall across the southern areas and some parts of the central region. Looking at this high-impact weather forecast map, areas highlighted in yellow are likely to receive between 10 and 20 millimeters of rainfall in the next 24 hours, while regions in green can expect around 0 and 10 millimeters. By Friday morning, isolated thunderstorms are expected over parts of Kogi, Kwara, some parts of the Federal Capital Territory, and across the coastal cities. However, thunderstorms activities will become more widespread during the afternoon and evening hours. So stay informed, and thank you for watching.
Welcome back. Now let's take you to the world of business, where President Bola Tinubu has approved the expansion of the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas to include electric vehicles in a new drive to reposition the initiative. The initiative will now be known as the Presidential Initiative on Compressed Natural Gas and Electric Vehicles. Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, disclosed this in a statement. Onanuga said the expanded mandate will also anchor the development and rollout of electricity vehicles, EV charging infrastructure, and related investment across the country. Egypt has ordered shops, restaurants, and shopping malls to close from 9 p.m. from Saturday, hoping to curb energy bills that have more than doubled because of the Iran war. Prime Minister Mustafa Abdullahi announced the curfew and said it would last for a month initially. Shops, shopping centers, restaurants, and cafes will also close at 9 p.m. on weekdays. He said, adding that Thursday and Friday at the weekend they will be allowed to stay open until 10 p.m. The premier said that before the war, Egypt's monthly energy bill was $560 million. Today, for the same quantity, he said Egypt is paying $1.650 billion. The federal government has unveiled a sweeping return agenda to reposition Nigeria's corporation sector as a major driver of economic growth, food security, and financial inclusion. This followed key resolution reached at the 8th regular meeting of the National Council on Cooperative Affairs in Abuja. Anita Patrick reports. We'll bring you that report in our subsequent bulletin. Now on the foreign scene, a delegation of 5 Russian lawmakers has visited the United States to restore preliminary contact for the first time since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Meeting with administration officials were scheduled for today. The Russian spokesperson told the state news agency in Washington. Nkov said discussion with United States lawmakers is focused on creating a joint parliamentary group and the possibility of a reciprocal visit to Moscow in May. Ghana's foreign minister has welcomed the United Nations resolution designating the transatlantic slave trade as the grievous center against humanity. He also is calling for accountability and repatriative justice from nations involved in the historic trade. Mukhtar Kasim reports.
Speaking after the vote at the United Nations, Ghana's foreign minister Samuel Ablakwa dismissed criticism from some Western nations and insisted that countries involved in the slave trade must acknowledge their role and take responsibility. The resolution, adopted by a majority of member states, calls for restorative justice and highlights the lasting impact of slavery, including systemic inequality and racial discrimination.
Good afternoon. Today, the international community has taken a significant, considerate, and historic step forward by adopting this landmark resolution declaring the trafficking of enslaved Africans and the racialized chattel enslavement of Africans as the gravest crime against humanity.
He also urged the return of looted African artifacts and stressed the need for concrete steps towards compensation and institutional reforms.
Today, through this resolution, the world has spoken with clarity and truth. We have affirmed that the trafficking of enslaved Africans and their racialized chattel enslavement is the gravest crime against humanity, a crime whose scale, structure, and enduring consequences demand recognition at the highest level of our shared global conscience, so that we can move.
The vote has reignited global debates over reparation, with some countries opposing aspects of the resolution despite acknowledging the historical injustice of slavery. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global TV News.
And now to the world of sports. Nigeria women's basketball team, the Tigers, have expanded their upcoming United States tour with the addition of a high-profile preseason clash against Indiana Fever as preparations intensify ahead of the 2026 FIBA Women's Basketball World Cup. The latest fixture confirmed both Nigeria and the women's basketball team franchise will take place on May 2, 2026 in Indianapolis, adding another major test for African champions during their tour. Team Nigeria's national basketball team have made the announcement on X while heightening the sequence of fixture across multiple cities. And that's it on News Cycle. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @Global TV NG. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. Thanks for watching.